Austin here, coming at you from a very inhospitable environment. It's extremely cold out right now, but I'm just getting some fresh air. Sun's out. Just got done snowing the other day. However, being confined in such a closed off space, can drive a person crazy. Oddly enough, this type of weather can really actually prompt an individual to explore. And you might think that such an environment is not conducive towards exploration or adventure, but you'd be quite wrong, in fact. And that's because you don't necessarily need to physically travel somewhere to explore another place. I found myself in contemplation the other day in regards to why did Europe develop so different in regards to the geographical differences of regions in comparison to the United States. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say I was to travel from a state to another state in the United States. I'm finding somewhat of a difference, but not as vast of a difference as if I was to travel the same distance in, let's say, Europe. Now, why is that? Contemplating the notion, I have came to conclusion that it had to do with the technology which was available during the expansive moment of the United States, and that the technology actually allowed there to be information transmitted at a fast pace, which allowed the region to actually pretty much co-evolve on a much greater scale. Now, if you look at the development of Europe and the progress of the cultures and the advancement of the societies, then what we find is that a distance that today may not seem so vastly distant was back then extremely difficult and, could take possibly a lifetime to traverse that distance. And so what we have is the fact that even though it doesn't seem like it was, that vast of a difference, they were developing pretty much isolated, which allowed them to come up with vastly different cultures, which today may be seen as, geographically not so much of a separating event. But back then it definitely was, which allowed there to be much more isolated occurrences that went on. And that being said, I guess that's all I really have to say.